with the exception of Tim Hortons, because they're everywhere. JDC from Peterborough board. Thanks for coming out, ladies. We do appreciate it. Okay, let's get this officially under attention over here to the right-hand side, or the starboard side of this vessel. There's this old train. Water travels down through several dams, hydroelectrical plants, right by Quaker Oats into this marina where we are all sitting right now. Although there is a secondary channel. This was a time that a man by the name of Richard Birdsell, it was at this time that he decided to build a giant hydraulic lift lock, a conventional flood lock, and of course the canal system that we're all going to travel today. So we do make our way onto the water today, ladies and gentlemen. If my driving seems to make any of you a little bit nervous, well, we do have a fully stocked bar here on board. That's sometimes very important. We also have coffee, tea, and other cool soft drinks. But if I happen to scare you really badly, right on the lower deck, right across from the bar, we also have washrooms. So I think we're pretty much prepared for the next hour and 50 minutes or so that we may be out on the wall Saturday night. Of course, the annual Dragon Boat Festival on today, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to come out and take a
This
photo
piece
with
of property in which all of this is happening on, it is known as Del Prairie Park. No, I guess I shouldn't really say that it was first place here, because in reality, when it was first place in our lake many, many years ago, it was actually put far into the bay, but it was way up into the right-hand side of this fountain. And it was so far into the bay, in fact, that oftentimes on a breezy day like this, the mist from the fountain could be carrying right over tops of the roofs. Most of the houses you can see off to our right. We know this is Crescent Street. The people that used to live on Crescent Street receiving a second shower on the way to work every morning. But nothing was ever done about these complaints. Well, that was until the very same mist continued to drift over Peterborough after Peter Robinson, and eventually that name stuck. That's why we all notice Peterborough today. But even more importantly than that, it is the second largest national park in Canada. Sea Lot 20 just getting ready for us as they're swinging the gates open. Of course, with this viewing point for the system as well, which would be nice. Looks like we're gonna have a little paddling company as we travel through the locks. We're gonna pull into this lock itself, wrap up with fire and explosions. The lock attendants are just not very fond of. But if you're chewing, you can continue to chew. Okay, guys, because if you want to come up, take a picture. Everybody that's sitting in behind you wants to see past you, okay? So let's be appreciated by myself. Anybody sitting behind you, and no one will wind up overboard. We don't throw people overboard around here. We call it testing safety equipment. In behind us, once the paddler makes their way in, and I get it, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been through a lock system before, paddling is a great way to do it. But why somebody would want to come into this lock and spend 10 or 15 minutes as we flood up really, really slow, when they could paddle to the wall, get out of the canoe or kayak, pull it up onto the shore, go up the 15 stairs, and put it on the other side in 2 minutes is beyond me. Go on their own. When I did my gates in front of the back, we also have a 3-gate version of these. They are called flight locks. They look just like this. They wound up here, did they? Because I got a secret for you. This is not the cruise that she wanted. Didn't know. Is anybody getting newly engaged here by chance? Yeah? You guys newly engaged? Oh, that's cute. So, a couple things that I did not. This was a surprise to me. So I went down to the jeweler, her and I, we went, looked through a bunch of rings. I picked up this ring. You guys want to come take a picture? It is good for the whole season. And for the same type of boat, say somewhere up and around the $300-400 mark. Not too awfully bad. Or, if you are just jumping, it must be 8 or 9 years ago now, I met a sweet little old lady. She was 86 years old at the time, guys, sailing through Canada all by herself. And she made it. She sent me a postcard from BC. I guess she wasn't really by herself. She had her Bichon 3. The water level has to exactly equal out from the lock that we are in comparison to the canal in front of us. For there's a couple inches of difference or so, it is actually impossible for the lock attendants to swing the gates open. The weight bearing down of these gates is an absolutely incredible number. It is estimated about 5 tons per square meter of water. Once one of them does equal out, it is relatively easy. They're swinging the gates in front of us open right now. That looks like Becca here is going to go up and swing the blue bridge up in front of us open. We'll continue on our way.
Manual pala, para po machine.
Kawawa naman sila nag-grade open sa dapat masyadong sa mga si ate galit na si ate ang kulang
During our very busy summer months right here in town, the bridge in front of us will swing 5 or 6. It could even swing up to 10 times an hour. This normally holds up traffic in both directions for an awfully long way. But you know the people of Peterborough, they are an awfully patient bunch. They will quietly sit in their cars, they'll talk amongst themselves or listen to the radio for 10 or even up to 15 minutes at a time. You know what? Sometimes they even get downright friendly, take but a moment of their busy schedules to even roll down their windows and play with us. Oddly enough, sometimes with only one finger extended. But if that's the case, I want you all just to smile and wave back. I'm sure it is just a friendly Peterborough greeting.
Oh my gosh, that's really that's cool. Oh wow.
Kala ko sa ilalim tayo kanina.
Like, paano nila nire-retrieve yan? Oh, and then the cars have to stop. Cars must stop.
As we get by this blue swing bridge, the next old bridge we're all going to come up to and go by just up here on our right, that of the old CP rail line. What actually used to be a B line for a great many years, connect a lot of the small towns from Havelock all the way to Toronto. They've discontinued that via service, just used for freight train operation nowadays. Although there is a lot of talk about bringing the via service back now. Sparkling Waters Rail Line's construction was supposed to begin a year or so ago. I don't think they quite found all the funding. The chamber that's in the air will come down, causing the chamber on the ground to rise up 65 feet, or 19.8 meters. Or at least it did this morning. It's July 9th, 1904 this opened up, everyone. So on July 9th of this year, a little less than a month, this structure is turning 120 years old. When they first started building it, way back in 1896, they estimated it would take about 6 years to build this structure, everyone. One, to excavate some 27,000 cubic meters of material on the side of this very large hill. This was all by hand, I might add. They then planned to pour in an additional 37,000 cubic meters of concrete, and that made this the world's largest concrete structure. The total estimated cost of building this structure way back then, everyone. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to ask everybody before we pulled into the chamber here today. Is there maybe anybody on board here today that's just a little nervous of heights? Because it's too late. I got you. With all of us right inside the chamber, that large gate should begin to come up out of the water. The polar drop forces the water or fluid from beneath its chamber down through its giant press well through that. But I will remind you all one more time, there's actually just 1 foot of water inside the chamber coming down the sides that makes this all work. Because after they open up the crossover valve, well, grab is everything else. So it's like a giant teeter-totter, a seesaw, let's say. Now, of course, the amazing feature about this is we can move boat traffic 2 directions simultaneously. I doubt there's boats in there over there right now, but if there are boats in there and you guys back here can see them, this is the one part of the... You better be smiling because they'd be taking pictures of us too. But there's no boats over there, and there's a 62-ton cruise ship inside of here. It makes absolutely zero difference how many boats are in either chamber because every boat displaces its own weight in water. So whichever chamber has the foot of water also has its extra 130 tons. Archimedes figured that one out, guys.
Wow, this is great.
Oh, as we continue to rise, do not worry about the little bit of shaking we may feel from time to time. Just remember the structure is about to turn 120. You would shake too if you were 120, come on. Get a little closer to the top here, we should slow back down a little bit, let the rubber seals slide back together, because they really don't like any leaks around here.
We're too high. We're so
But
under
as
the
we come
water.
up to a stop today, I did kind of tell you all that we were all going to rise 65 feet. I may have misled you just a little bit. Because now that we've all reached the top, we've only actually risen 64 feet. What is going to happen now? They're going to open up this large gate that's directly out in front of us.
From
down.
down.
Charged with an
Oh my
extra
gosh,
foot of
we
water.
can
And essentially an extra 130 tons. So we actually rise the last foot right inside this chamber. So you get a little idea. If you can see the walls on the lower side anywhere around us, you can see the water.
Lalay down. what we call the leaf lock. Oh my gosh, this is like first time in history na ma-experience ko.
Overcome that 77-foot elevation change yet either. That's where they try to perform several acrobatic leaps for my passengers. Much to the dismay of many of us boaters that travel through here, but nonetheless, it's a pretty good spot for swimming. It was school not out yet. Continue on north from there through 5 more locks and 6 more at Chattanooga, right past Lakefield Private College. This is a college where Prince Andrew went to school in his senior year. We had an English heritage on board, and so did the present King of Spain, I might add. King Felipe. You continue on north from there through lots of different locks and a number of different things. They removed all the eight. We'll probably hear the announcement again. It won't be quite as clear as the bottom side. The upper PAs don't work here as well. But they'll put us all back into motion. It should take us all the exact same amount of time to go down as it did to go up. That is, of course, unless the seals blow out from underneath. Hey, how are things going downstairs?
It's fine. Yeah, my God.
Everybody being good?
Yes.
Yeah? Did they show you where to put the bad people?
We're all good.
You all good? All right, I trust you.
Siya yung maingay na nagsasalita.
We're going down.
We're already going down. Oh yeah. Look at the wall over there.
We're going down now.
It's smooth going down. There's so much anticipation going up, that's why.
Yeah.
Chambers
Tayo lang ang ayun nagkikon.
Oh yeah.
So as we make our way right back to the chamber, you
Okay.
can actually see how far
Yeah.
we're overhanging inside of this chamber.
Look at that, it's coming
This is all
up.
perfectly balanced on the large black cylinders. By perfectly balanced, I mean they're
Yeah.
absolutely perfectly balanced.
The other side will go up and we are going down. Yan ang nangyayari sa leaf lock. Pagkatapos niyan na umakyat, there you go. And now, kami naman ang bababa. Oh my gosh. So yun.
Up, down, down, down.
Memorize that, I just made it up.
Hindi ko ma-feel.
Hindi, kailangan tumayo ka para makita mo yung...
Oo, andyan o. So, bumababa na kami.
Makikita mo yung pagbaba natin umaakyat dyan.
Ayan, talagang winawalang tubig sa kabila. Pinupunta dito.
Ano gusto ko nandoon, ako'y manunood doon. Parang...
Pag hindi ka pupunta dito, hindi mo ma-explain. No, I know. Hindi basta-basta yung pinapanood mo sa radio yung kanal. Ganun din.
So yung gate na yun ay dadapa bababa. Yan.
As we all reach the bottom, that secondary chamber also reaches the top simultaneously. Pulling the pins that are open, we're going to lose a foot of water, essentially the 130 tons across the top all the way down here to the bottom. We're going to continue on our way because you're going to love the next story.
Ay, ganun pala, ineng.
We're going to have some fun with the paddlers too. They're going to start paddling ahead of us. We're going to throw in...
Binigyan ng pagkain galing sa loob.
Merry Christmas, girl.
successfully traveled the Peterborough hydraulic lift lock, well, I think it's pretty safe to tell you all about the 2 minor accidents we had here when that back gate will open halfway to the top. We tend to call
So
these
yun,
accidents
tapos
minor
na.
because, well, we weren't here that day. When they first began operating these locks, back in the early 1900s, it operated very much like it did today,
Bye-bye
with
na.
one single employee down here on the lower chamber, putting in and taking out. All run by Parks Canada employees, and they're all federal employees, of course. They operate from May to for weekend, usually until Thanksgiving weekend, which for Canadians is mid-October. Coming into the end of October, a little closer into November, they winterize this part of our canal. A little further up from where we turned around, a large set of trap gates cut off all the water flow down through here. They lowered the upper reach all the way down to the bottom. They also lowered each chamber of the lift lock all the way to the bottom and do drain the water at each one of them. But when they're done lowering this canal, which we're traveling on by several feet of water, and then it freezes over, the city of Peterborough then takes over management of the ice surface. This becomes a skating rink from the Blue Bridge directly in front of us all the way back to the lift lock. They accommodate for this very well also with lights on either side of this canal. This is to illuminate the ice surface, so we can skate here till the hours of the morning, all winter long.
So yun ang nangyari. Dadaan ang boat. Aalisin ang tulay.
Approaching Lock 20 for that final descent into the lake. When they first opened up Lock 20 out in front of us, everyone, it's actually got the exact same birthday as the lift lock. Nobody ever recognizes this poor little lock, though. They did only anticipate seeing 1 or 2 boats per day, even on their busiest time of year. Never in their wildest dreams could they have ever imagined the tremendous amount of pleasure craft that would travel through here, as the lock directly in front of us has logged in